a rebel through and through. It growed up in my bones like them good old Southern blues.
If you ask singer-songwriter Doug Gray to describe himself, he'd sum it up in just a few words: Bronx, bulls, bikes, and rock and roll.
Sitting down by the river.
Born and raised in southeast Arkansas near DeWitt, Gray grew up on a farm where riding horses was an everyday occurrence. His family raised registered Black Angus, which gave him the opportunity to start riding calves and later bulls at a very young age. Becoming a rodeo cowboy was just part of his upbringing.
Started riding, I bought an IPRA card back in the IRA days. It was, I believe my number was was 11756. You know, it was very, back when I was 13, I believe is when I bought that card. So started going when I was 15 and started participating in the Professional Rodeo Association and picked up bronc riding probably when I was 18, 19 years old and rode both events there for several years.
Fast forward 15 years, and Doug Gray's life started to head in a much different direction. Deciding to hang up his lasso and pick up a guitar, he began writing about his memories as a cowboy.
Decided after I had hung my bull rope up that I either was going to pick up a lariat rope and go to the other end of the arena or pick up a guitar and see what I could do there. So I decided I'd pick up a guitar and write a few songs that I had experienced in the past of my travels and put a few chords with them, see what happened.
Down by the river, watching big muddy rolling on by.
Wasting no time on his newfound dream, in 1997, Doug completed his first album titled Rebel and the Blues Man.
Son, and here's my flag.
An upbeat honky-tonk blues project which he proudly took to Nashville, Tennessee to shop around.
Sweat running down my face. I can't stay focused and I got the shade.
Got the reality real quick. You know, there was no big checks and gold records or big offers out there hanging. So they immediately let you know where you stood when you walked in the door, which was at the end of the crowd. And if you were willing to pay your dues and stick around, then I guess you may make it. I chose to take my music and go back to Arkansas and write a little bit more and put a couple more albums down and try it again. And by then the technology had caught up with Nashville and you could pretty well step out on your own and get your material heard and you didn't have to have Nashville and the big conglomerate record labels to carry your material. I ran across Willie Nelson back in '92 and he told me real quick not to let Nashville destroy my dreams. So I listened to what he had to say and Nashville really didn't have a lot of impact on what I was doing with my music or the direction that I wanted to go.
Although Music City was not too hip on his ideas, rejection wouldn't stop Gray's drive and commitment to make a way for the world to experience his unique musical style. After all, he had a story to tell, and he was going to tell it one way or the other.
All around, I'm having flashbacks, baby, from yesterday.
There is an adrenaline rush and a little adrenaline involved in the motorcycle riding, I'll agree. Nothing like riding bulls, but it's a freedom. It really is. You can get out there and let that wind blow in your hair, and it's a freedom that you don't get behind the steering wheel of an automobile. And it was not hard for me to pick up after riding horses and bulls to get on a motorcycle and find that freedom and the love to go down that highway. Video Talk of the Town, though, there was absolutely a young lady that fit the picture. That's who she was. So I wrote that song about her. But yeah, that's when I decided that, you know, maybe I'd pick up a bike and see what we could, whether we would enjoy this crowd or not. And it's been a good time ever since.
Right here at the edge of town. Well, everybody grab up a fishing bowl. Let's stink bait and come on down.
The first video that I had produced come from a song I wrote called William Jefferson Clinton Library. It was the Redneck Hooterville song. We were flying in from Dallas in a plane, and it was the sun happened to be hitting on the Clinton Library that day just right, and it shined in the window of the plane. Look down, and Lord and behold, there is this great, humongous house trailer on stilts sitting down by the river, and I did not know that it was the Clinton Library. And I was informed later that it was, and while I was, before we ever got the plane on the ground good, I had about half of that song written.
Oh yes, it's that William Jefferson Clinton Library, and it's bling blinging at the edge of town.
My plans for the future are to continue to write and play music, and to pursue the hog rallies and the ride motorcycle rallies, as well as to pursue music in the rodeo arenas.
His first album was sold online, and he has since completed 2 more, Under the Gun and Confederate Son, with another in the works. Doug always says that for him, writing a song is the best way for me to express my feelings, thoughts, and dreams.
Confederate son, and here's my flag.